Hi Taurus, it's Chronic Joy Tarot. This is going to be your August 2017 reading. And thank you everyone for coming back, if you're coming back. And if you're just visiting now, thanks for checking me out. Just know my style is definitely about your spiritual development. It's, taking one thing to focus on for the next few weeks and enhancing from the inside out, calling to your higher self. I use an oracle deck to give us guidance on what to focus on, and then the Zen tarot deck is where I do the extended spread on that topic. Okay? Remember, this is for Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising. If it doesn't connect with you at this time, then check out the your moon or rising sign on my channel and see if those fit. And remember, these are very general. It's many of you watching, so it's not always going to click, but it's okay, because you know what? There's always going to be a time when it does. Okay, so the first oracle card I pulled for you, Taurus, is the card of childhood, the innocence. This is such a lovely, I love the artwork on these cards. I don't know if there's a glare, but I just love the artwork. Bringing you back to a time of where things were more simple, where you felt sort of unscathed by the things that happen in life. Things were easy, they were fun, you were free. You're called to try to tap into that energy for the next couple weeks here, Taurus. Things may have been getting a little hectic in your life, and you're being called to go ahead and pull back a little bit and remember, not remember the happier times and long for them, but remember the happier times and know that you can always tap into that and recreate it. Okay? This spread is called the Flying Bird. I pulled a few ahead here just to give me a peek, because I had a feeling where it was going to lead, and it sure is. So this is the starting point, the point of liftoff, and then we're going to take flight and come to a new level of awareness here at the end. So you are now in a place where listening to your inner voice is vital. It's important. You may feel that around you life is a little too hectic. There's a lot going on, maybe decisions to be made, changes to put forth in your life. And you're being called now to go ahead and pull in to that deepest part of yourself, that part that really does hold innocence, that's just pure spirit of who you are, and sit with that for a little bit and trust it. Trust it, because that's the next card, is the trust card. This is an internal energy. This is an energy that is within you, that you can tap into, that may not show up in your daily life, that others may not be aware of. But if you, let's just say you do have a lot going on right now and things are hectic, go inside and look back on your life and think, okay, well, I've had this hectic feeling before, and I've made it past it, and I'm here now, right? That's kind of what you're being called to do, is trust the process, trust life. Just trust life, because life will continue to happen. It happens, things come at you, and you can either navigate your way around them to avoid, denser energies, or you can sit with it for a minute and let it pass. But just trust the process, that you're able to move past this stuff. And if you tap into that, youngest part of you, that quiet, beautiful, childlike, side of you, things will feel a lot smoother. And it's time right now just to stop and have a little fun. It's time. The next card I pulled is an external card, and it's the aloneness card. And this is stating, not that you're lonely or that you're all alone in this world, but that you alone, can be relied on to get you through. If you think back to that innocent child who never really had to, logic or reason their way through anything. Children just sort of go by what they feel, and they're very fluid and expressive, and there's an ease about the way they go about their days. This is what you're called to do, and you can do this. Aloneness doesn't mean you're without others. It means you definitely rely on yourself. It's the presence of you. And tapping into that strength that you have is called for now. Stay rooted. This card is the friendliness card. This says that no matter who's around you, you're always rooted in who you are, and you allow them to be as well. So this goes along with this, tapping into your internal energies and knowing that you alone have what it takes to proceed and move forward. And, staying rooted in your own true self while letting others around you be their own true self, that's going to bring ease. And that's actually going to bring a cause for happiness and celebration. That makes you feel more childlike, right? It brings about those energies as well. So I'm feeling like maybe, Taurus, that maybe you do find yourself in some heavier energies right now. Maybe you've had a lot going on at work, at school, in your family. And calling in, that older part of you, that younger self, but that part of you that's been with you the longest, right, as far as you can remember as a human, is important. It's very important right now. Internally, you're going to feel a big shift by tapping into that childlike side of you, and trusting that your path right now is what it is for a reason. Just trust that. Know that you can sort of let go of some of the recent things that have been happening, and if you can get that breakthrough and cause for celebration, and go out and dance in the rain like these lovely ladies are, then that will cause a shift in you, and you'll feel it. You'll feel that internally. This is an internal energy on this side here. So the trust card, the friendliness card, and the transformation card, those are all happening within you. And you feel it, and you know the shift's happening. Others may not see it or know it, but you know it, okay? And these energies here on the outside are external. So by tapping into that younger part of you and that core of who you are, listening to your inner voice, it may show up, and others may think that you're pushing them away because you're more in touch with your own self, but it's just not the case. It's not the case, okay? You're not pushing anyone away. You're tending to yourself, and those are two very different things. Okay, so the transformation happens internally. This is a really powerful ending, so listen up. The transformation that's happening internally, which is you caring for you, listening to your inner guide, and going about, tending to yourself for the next couple weeks, is going to show up in your life as a big, like, there may be some, like I said, people feel like you're pushing them away because you're doing this on your own. There may be some people that can't handle that, and that might leave your life, or leave your life just temporarily, or you might fall out of touch with some people, or external literal situations might change. You might quit your job, or you might find other ways to make your living because you are tending to who you really are, okay? But don't feel like if a sudden change on the external part of your life happens, don't feel like that's a bad thing. It's a beautiful thing. And what it will do is bring you and you in harmony. Your higher self, your intuition, and your heart will match up again, and you'll feel more aligned with who you really are. You'll feel more aligned with who you really are because you started out tapping into that childlike side of you, that place where you began, where innocence is the way to go about. Innocence meaning not guilty or innocent, but innocence meaning that wonderment, the way that children look at the world with wonder, and they don't really worry about consequences. They go with what they feel, and there's a beauty to that. you know, and as long as you can make that fit into this real world without checking out too far, you know, there's a beauty to that, and it could create some really positive changes for you. And you may end up, you know, with reason for celebration and feeling much more yourself. And these cards here are both emotion cards. So really just go with how you feel. It's your guide right now, your inner voice. It's, you know, you pulled a lot of emotion cards here. These are all how you feel is your guide, you know, your intuition, what your gut is telling you. If it feels really good to tuck in and sort of shut out from the world for a couple days, do that. Okay? That's okay. As long as you stay rooted in who you are and you allow the space for others to do the same, right? It's a tricky dance, but it can be done. Okay, Taurus, I hope this made sense. If it didn't and you're thinking, what? This isn't even anything to do with me, then check out your rising sign and your moon sign, because they may resonate for you this month. It's all general. Remember, this is just a suggestion of what to focus on. And if you want a more specific and customized reading, get in touch with me in my About section of this channel, and we could schedule a reading. Okay, I'll talk to you in a couple weeks for the August update. Thanks, Taurus. Bye.